So we haven't got much rain over the last couple months, and the pasture out there where the animals are grazing, it's not really growing back. And so we've decided, we kind of talked about it today, we decided to just go ahead and move the cattle into the winter pasture in here, and we're gonna feed them hay for the next few weeks. And hopefully we'll get some rain, hopefully the pasture will recover. But I think this is just the best thing to do to keep from overgrazing.
Maya, I sprayed you yesterday. You've been sprayed 2 days in a row and the flies are still terrible. Yeah, I know. They drive you crazy, don't they? Got a few more weeks left, Ellie, till that baby comes out. Who wants some? You want some? No? Ollie will take. What are you doing? It's not peanut butter. Are you disappointed?
Hay feeders backwards. So we're gonna do the same thing with the ewes over here. We're gonna lock them right in here in the back of the barnyard and just feed them hay. And you especially have to do that with sheep, because if they have any access to pasture, they will choose it over hay and they will overgraze the pasture. So you really have to just kind of like pin them in and force them to eat hay. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, just need to shut some gates and chase the ewes in here.
Yes! Come on! Come on, girls. All right. It's the easy button.
All right, we got the ewes locked in the barnyard. Now it's time to move the cattle.
Maya's leading the pack. Come on, everybody. Go get some hay.
All right, everybody. Come here, Larry. Maya's gonna try to steal it from you.
Maya's gonna steal it.
Maya, you're a bully. You bully everybody for the feed.
Larry, you gotta fight Mo for it. Come on, you guys. Maya. Come on, Ellie. So my main reason for wanting the cows in here so we could feed them is because Ellie, her earliest due date is here in a couple weeks. And I'm trying to get her to put on a little bit of weight before she births. Because Jerseys are typically pretty skinny anyways. And I don't want her to lose too much weight after the baby comes. So we're trying to get her fed for a few weeks.
And once she has a baby and we're milking her, we're gonna be feeding her anyway. So this is gonna help kind of get her used to taking feed again, and just gonna help her body condition, right?
Yep. So that she can produce all that milk.
Yeah, and being a milk cow, she's gonna produce probably quite a bit.
Yep.
And I did end up ordering a milking machine, and so that we didn't have to necessarily hand milk, try to make it easier on us, I guess. It's supposed to show up sometime next week. You know, that's supposed to be for the sheep, not you guys, right? You just took Mo's food. So the next phase in our plan is we are going to take the ram lambs and we're going to try to get them back in the pine trees over there, and because we're going to keep them separated, because we'll probably end up taking them to the sale barn. Instead of like growing them out all the way, we'll end up selling them as feeders instead, just because we don't have any pasture. We're kind of overstocked right now with as dry as it is, so we don't really have much choice. I think the best thing to do is just to take them to the auction now, or sometime later this week or next week. We're just moving the electric fence so that we can get the lambs over here. Let's go, boys. All right, boys. Gotta go that way. The fence is gone, boys. You can go. Look, it's gone. Come on. Come on. Yeah, see, no electric fence there. There you go, into the barnyard. All right, we got all the livestock where we want them. We got their water set up. They all got hay. I think we're good to go. All right, so the next day now, and last night I just kind of went on a pressure washing spree, I guess. I washed the tractor all off, ended up washing out some water troughs and some other stuff. And this morning I got everything set up so that we can drive some fence posts. So I've got some metal fence posts here. Most of them are gonna be short fence posts. They're gonna drive in like to where they're only sticking out of the ground about 18 inches. Still got a couple tall posts to put in. And then we've got the Dan User T3 post driver here on the front of the tractor. That's what we're gonna drive them in with. So I'm gonna see if we can get these drove in before lunch, and then this afternoon we probably need to go out to the hayfield and see how the hay's drying down. We may need to do some raking, maybe some tedding. We'll just have to go check it. I'm very crooked. I'm right where I want to be, but man, I got crooked right there at the end. So the type of fence brace we're building here is an end brace. So they're going to be an angle piece of pipe. Another piece of pipe like this is going to angle between them to brace it. And if this was a tall post, it would look similar to the letter N. And I've got our posts 9 feet apart from each other, so I know about a 9.5 foot brace will fit in there. So I'm taking my string, I'm just tying it through one of these holes in this timeless post, and then I'm gonna wrap it around the other post. We'll have a nice, decently straight line, I guess, to go by on the way, at least the same way the wire should go. Leave it sticking out of the ground about 18 inches. I don't know if that's too long or not, but that's what I'm doing. Well, I've driven in a total of 9 of these pipe posts, and I've got one more to do, and I've saved the one that might be the hardest for last. So right over here in these trees, this old fence line, this is where we have to put the other post. And where it ends up being is like right here, which is right next to the tree that I cut down the other day, and it's right in front of this big tree right here. So I think the chances of me hitting a root are pretty good in this whole area. So I'm gonna try to drive it. Maybe if we do hit a root, maybe I'll be able to drive it through. But if that doesn't work, then what we'll have to do is we'll have to drive our post further out, and we'll have to have a really long brace, which I have some extra pipe. I think I have some 20-foot pieces of pipe left. So then I could just cut a custom length of pipe to come further out for the angle brace, but never know till we try. Couple more inches. All right, I got it in the ground and no problems. Everything's actually gone really well here the last couple days. Cut hay, no problems. Put in all these fence posts, no problems. Let's hope that this streak continues. So now I've got all of the pipe posts, all the timeless posts in for this east-west run of fence that divides this pasture in half. So we're ready basically to start putting in the angle braces, getting those bolted in all the locations, and then after that we can start putting up the 5-strand electric fence. So let's head out to the hayfield now. It's been about 48 hours since I cut it, and we'll see how it's drying down. Well, it's sounding dry. It's got a lot of good color in it too. It's coming along. So in this field here, there wasn't as much grass. Seems to be drying down fairly well, but a little bit underneath looks like it's just not quite there. So probably tomorrow I'll be able to bale this up. The area that I worry about is over here by these trees because it's shaded. So as we get here in the shade, the color has completely changed. Nice and green. Look how bright green that is. And this isn't dried down at all right here. So if I don't do anything, this is going to take twice as long to dry over here on this shady area. So what I think I'll do is I'll get the hay rake out, and what I'll do is I rake it. I've done this several times in the past, but I will rake it out far enough where it's in the sunlight, which will be a fairly big windrow by the time you push it all the way that direction. and then I'll take a hay tedder across it, spread it all back out so it's laying down evenly, and then it'll dry out in the sun and it'll speed everything up. So now we're in the second hay field, and it had a little bit of a different problem. It had a ton of this really tall warm season grass, which is like almost like a switchgrass, really tall, really stemmy stuff. It seems to be drying down a little bit. I'll go ahead and just grab some of this, we'll flip it over, and you can see still a little bit green there where it looks like it has too much moisture in it. So I think this field's gonna have to dry for another day as well before we try baling it up. But we have the same problem on this field with this fence row that runs on the south side of the field. Any of the grass that's over here is just not quite dry. This is more like what we want, exactly what we want as our hay to be. It's like weed free on the shaded side. It's kind of funny, the weeds don't grow in the shade, but it's not quite dry enough yet either. I think we'll head back, get a hay rake hooked up, and see if we can move all this out into the sun. And then hopefully tomorrow it's dry enough I can bale it all up, and then I'm done making hay for the year. All right, I got the hay in both fields raked away from the tree line. Oh, on this side, I think I raked it I took 5 passes and ended up with this really big windrow right here. On the other side, I think I only did 4 passes, but now I just want to run the hay tedder over the top of this. We'll get it all spread back out. All right, I got both of those large windrows all spread out with the tedder. That's really gonna help this dry out. And as we look at this, you probably won't be able to tell, but it is spread from like here over to here. This has all been tedded in this area, and that'll definitely help on this shady side over here. But the rest of the field, I think the rest of this field is gonna be able to be baled tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see what this over here looks like. It may have to wait another day or so. But I know some people are going to say, why don't you ted the whole field? Like, well, I try not to ted if I don't have to. I only do it when it's been rained on, for instance, or if there's rain in the forecast and I need to try, like if there's some reason I need to bale quickly, like within 2 days, then I will ted it. If not, if like right now, with no rain in the forecast, why use the tedder, put wear and tear on the tractor, waste fuel when I don't have to? So that's why you guys don't see me use the tedder very often. I did it, I think, at the very beginning when I first started cutting hay, but I think I've learned since then it's not necessary. Well, it's not necessary if you have time for it to dry naturally out in the sun, but it does come in handy for certain times, especially in bad weather. So far, no major breakdowns. The tedder, for a minute there, I thought I wasn't gonna be able to use it. The PTO shaft was seized up where it slides together. But I got it freed up and all greased up because I hadn't used it in a couple years. But I got it all working. It was actually not that big of a deal. And hopefully when I come out here to bale this all up, everything goes just as good as it has been going. But I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.